browse your Keithos. Can you go to retrorewindpodcast.com/live? And Paul, you go to the Google Plus page and see if we're coming through.
Where's the Google Plus page?
Oh, it's just in your invite. If you don't, I can go to that one. I just thought you would have had it handy.
/live, right? You said?
Yeah, /live, correct.
Okay. Oh, it's a YouTube live stream.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
And just hit play there?
I believe so.
Yeah. That should, yeah. Oh, yeah, I see what's happening.
Oh, now I'm coming through.
Oh,
it's like Spaceballs.
Major lag.
Yeah, well, no, that was because it is a lag between when it gets to YouTube and seeing us, I think.
Yeah.
So, Paul, are you on studio?
Prepare to fast forward.
Prepare to fast forward.
Let me double check.
Okay. It sounds like you probably... But yeah, please check.
Yes, I'm in studio.
Awesome.
No one is here to ask a question yet.
0 viewers. Yeah, they're like 7 o'clock and there's no one there. Well, I guess we have to go. No, I doubt that.
Now we know what our...
if you guys wanted to tweet that we're live now, that'd probably be good.
I'll do that.
I'll do that too.
Tweet.
Let's tweet like the birdies.
Are you doing your own Twitter or Retro Rewind, Paul?
Which would you prefer?
I'm on Retro Rewind now, so you do yours. How about that?
Mine.
Okay.
Oh, what happened to your audio?
Oh.
The audio keeps going in and out.
It was there for a second, then it's gone.
Oh, weird. I'm hearing both of you guys just fine.
Okay. As long as the masses can hear. Can you ask questions in the, where you went to the YouTube, Keithos?
No, I don't think that questions is set up there. It's just to watch.
Yeah, let me check out the full YouTube page.
Do you guys... How about I give you guys the link for the Google event?
Yeah.
Then you can link that.
It.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And I'll have to go to Twitter on my web browser, which is weird. I usually am on there on my phone. So weird.
So weird, man.
Actually, can you send me the link?
Yes, I can. I'll put it in the IM of the Hangout.
No, that won't do any good.
Oh, how'd you want me to send it to you? Email?
Text.
Ugh, I can't really do that.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Let's see.
Oh, never mind. I got this.
He's got this.
Don't worry, no one's listening anyway.
We have one viewer, apparently. I don't know if that's one of you guys, but...
I'm pretty sure that's my YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Or me. I don't know. Depending on which... Since we're both viewing it at different... Like...
Yeah.
I don't... I don't know which one of us is counting and not both of us, you know?
Did you put in the question, what's up, Paul?
Yeah, it doesn't say me that said that?
Yeah, it does. It does. This is my first time seeing that, so I'm...
Oh, okay. So maybe we have more viewers that are viewing the YouTube page like Keithos is, but
maybe.
It just doesn't register it.
That could be, yeah. Okay, now let me switch Twitter and go to me, and then we'll go ahead and go. Do you have the technicals, Paul?
Yep.
Do you both have YouTubes? New tubes?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's... yeah.
Whoa, what did I just do? Compose a tweet, please. Oh, you just nice. That's smart, Paul. Just retweeting me, or yeah. I don't know why I'm not just doing that. I'm composing a new tweet. Oh, well,
I made a new tweet.
well, that's fine too.
I like my tweet.
Okay, good.
Kong's still king of the jungle. Like it.
Oh, nice.
Banana.
That is nice. And do you have the Google one in that one, Quitos?
I just have
No.
the retro.
Yeah,
The
it's
live.
retro.
Okay.
Yeah, live. Well, we have our bases covered, I guess.
Yeah.
I love you.
They can join us either way, which is good.
Text me
Yeah.
when I'm done.
There's 2 ways to view the podcast.
Yeah.
Indeed. We are live. Come join. Kong is still king of the jungle?
Is Kong still
Is
king of the
Donkey
jungle?
Kong?
Well, I'm free. Yeah, okay.
Hashtag banana.
Boom.
Hashtag banana. Let's get the hashtag banana trending.
Yeah.
Dang it, I missed out.
You can tweet more.
I don't want to blow up my phone.
Oh,
My friends'
okay, yeah.
phones. Maybe I do. Maybe I shouldn't. With great power comes great responsibility.
That's true. Good point.
Great irresponsibility.
Okay, I'm going to do a quick record of us guys. So
Okay.
Make sure it's quick.
this is Francisco, and I'm coming in really hot. Quitos,
Yeah.
talk, please.
I am talking right now. We actually have two people watching.
Ooh.
So
Hello,
I
if
hope
you
it's
are
more than
watching.
just me.
Yes,
Oh.
we are. If you are watching right now, we are still getting going. Thanks for being patient with us. This is our first real live show. Please leave a question in the question and answer field, and if you're on the Google Plus page, and then yeah, we'll get going here in a little bit. Paul, will you say something, please?
Yes, welcome. My name is Paul Powers, and we're here today to have a roundtable discussion of whatever we want. Apparently, Quitos likes bananas. How long, sir, have you actually been liking bananas, or are you really just pretending to?
Find out today. Cool, guys. Thank you. Let me listen back to that.
I do like bananas.
Whoa, I am really loud.
Can we talk during this time? I mean, we have...
Yeah, go ahead and talk. That's fine.
All right.
Keep the audience entertained.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
To our two
Sorry,
best
audience.
viewers out there.
You're the best. You're the best around. Nothing is gonna keep you down.
Hey, be careful. Copyright. Google
Oh, right.
copyright.
I guess. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. They can't recognize that pattern, huh?
Yeah.
Craziness.
I'm getting you guys kind of low now.
Yeah, something happened.
Huh,
That's-
interesting. How about, are you still getting me, are you getting me low too, also?
Yeah,
No,
but it might-
it's okay now. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's low, but it's not
Okay.
imperatively low.
Imperative.
Oh, all right, never mind. I didn't say that. That was somebody else.
Oh, right, yes, of course.
This podcast is brought to you by Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box.
And
what's the slogan for Jack in the Box?
Make a late night foodie call.
Oh, really? Oh my god.
No, it's late night.
for our Japanese viewers, some Japanese face cream.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna unplug here for a second. I'll be right back. You guys can talk
Matrix.
though.
All right. The Matrix. Oh.
Oh, because he's gonna unplug.
Yeah. Took me a second, but I got it.
Wow, the lag on the video is like 10 seconds behind.
I think it's probably like 30. I
Yeah,
think
maybe
it's a little
so.
farther.
Yeah.
Uh.
Francisco's still on right now. Oh, wow, I'm just now seeing your Japanese.
Switch.
So what's your choice of poison tonight?
Sounding good, guys. Okay, I'm going to hit the DAR, and we're going to get going here.
Agua.
Agua.
Sorry,
Water.
can you hear me now, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Now I can hear you. We are sounding good. Okay, I'm going to hit record on GarageBand and record on the DAR.
Hey, no need to promote products that aren't endorsing us.
What product?
GarageBand.
Sorry, my apologies.
Hey, that's all right. You know, Jack in the Box, they should be sponsoring us, right? So is this Agua, whatever Quitos is drinking.
Oh my. Oh, will you guys both install the YouTube app, please?
Oh,
we lost a viewer. Bye-bye.
Oh, that was definitely me then.
Oh, okay.
do I need to?
Well, yeah, so that you can listen to the trailer when I play it.
I don't need to.
Guess you don't need to know.
Didn't this like go crazy last time?
Yeah, it did.
Well,
We're about to
let's
kick
see.
everyone out.
Let's see what happens. I think the problem was that you guys didn't. One of you didn't have it installed. You didn't click on the app. I thought that's what happened.
Oh no, we couldn't talk
could be
while it was
remembering
playing.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
And the whole point is to have a podcast. He's here.
Okay,
So
cool.
I just-
when you paused it, we could talk again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. And you can
Okay, cool.
click push to talk if you want to talk over it.
I want to talk over it, but I'm pushing push to talk,
Well,
and it
it's-
won't let me.
Okay, see, now we're talking.
Okay,
Yeah, I can
now I'm
talk now.
talking.
Yeah.
La
Okay,
la
there
la.
we go.
Oh, look him. Go get him, Diddy. Ninja kick the dang rabbit. Come on.
Oh my. Okay, so that one's ready to go. Hopefully it doesn't go away on me. Now, here's the trick. How do I close this and get back?
I believe you clicked chat. No.
Oh, I
not
just
chat.
clicked YouTube again. Okay, it's still there. Awesome.
Oh,
All right. Cool.
Oh, I can see the chat. Do you guys see the chat?
No, I got a
Hello,
notification,
world.
though.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a little notification
To
bubble.
list all available commands. Oh, there it is.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go, guys.
It's about time. We already lost one
I'm-
viewer.
Yeah. That guy Quitos, my goodness.
Oh man. Worst fan.
Ever.
What's that? All right. Gotta freshen up.
Oh no. Some
Mommy made me
vocal
mash my
training.
M&Ms.
All right, here we go, guys. It's just like the old days of reusing the boss, changing the color, and pretending it's completely new. On episode number 40 of the Retro Rewind podcast.
That's your grand intro.
Retro Rewind podcast initialized. Mission identified. Donkey Kong Country. 1994. Co-hosts online. Auditory analysis online. All systems nominal.
Welcome to the Retro Rewind podcast, where we rewind back to movies and video games from 15 or more years ago and let you know whether they're still worth revisiting today. You can find the show notes for this episode at retrorewindpodcast.com/40. There you can leave us a comment on the episode. You can vote in our poll on whether you thought Donkey Kong Country was a classic, nostalgic, or tragic. And you can find links to subscribe to the podcast in Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and more. My name is Francisco Ruiz. I'm a dad and a designer with a...
Donkey Kong dilemma?
No, who dominates as a dapper Donkey Kong. And I predicted that Donkey Kong Country would be a classic.
The reason why we're laughing is that pause there was so unnecessary but funny.
I'm joined, as always, by my good friend and co-host, Paul Powers. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Francisco.
Paul, Donkey Kong Country's game developer, Rare, or the game company that developed this game, Rare, was bought by Microsoft in 2002. But until then, Nintendo actually credited Rare with the character design for Donkey Kong from that was established in this game, Donkey Kong Country. Paul, my question for you is, what is your favorite game character design?
Oh my goodness.
Or character design from a game?
Of all the million games and all
this should be easy. Come on.
Character or overall look of the game?
Character.
Darn it.
It's got to be Yoshi.
Or Bowser.
Well, the overall look, I was going to go with, and now my mind totally blanked. What's that one that was animated by Don Bluth? Not the Space Ace, but the one before it.
Dragon's Lair?
Yeah, Dragon's Lair. But I don't know. Link from Zelda? I don't know. Bowser looks pretty cool.
Would you like to take a
I'm going to go with
mulligan on this one?
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
Yeah, it's nice, simple, and
minimal,
recognizable.
simple, yes.
Yes, recognizable right there.
Very good, Paul. And we are joined once again by Quitos game correspondent Ruiz. Welcome back, Quitos.
Thanks for having me.
The game guru.
Oh, before that, Paul, what did you predict Donkey Kong would be?
Oh, a classic.
Classic, okay. Back to Quitos.
Yeah.
On the ground, in the jungle. No,
so my prediction was it would be second class.
well, we don't have second class anymore, Quitos.
Oh.
It's
What's the other option?
Nostalgic or tragic?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
So tragic, I take it.
Yes, tragic. Yeah.
All right, well.
You predicted this game would be tragic?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Interesting. All right, guys. Well, Paul, will you lay on our course for this episode?
Sure, Alice. Let's have a roundtable discussion of whether we thought Donkey Kong was classic, nostalgic, or tragic, what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, with some major spoilers, possibly, if we got that far. And then let's go into the YouTube segment, and then let's wrap up the show with some feedback and some live announcements.
Keeping our fingers crossed on that one. Also, if we'll ever find this target.
Alert, alert, target located. Spoilers, incoming. Engaging retro rewind reactor.
Yes, if you're
Wow.
watching, how did they do this? Not on a 32X system.
That was amazing. I remember
Wow.
that when this came out.
So that triggered some memories for you, Paul?
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah,
the
well-
big deal was the graphics were just light years ahead of its time.
Yeah,
You know?
let's talk about everything we remembered in our memory mind meld synopsis. As far as the story goes, an old geezer gorilla is using a phonograph when Donkey Kong swings in with a boombox.
The
Then
end.
Donkey Kong is off on an adventure to get his bananas back from the evil crocodiles, led by the big bad King Croc. When it comes to gameplay, though, was a 2D. We remember this as a 2D side scroller with amazing 3D graphics on the SNES, where you are out to reclaim your bananas by tumbling or ground slapping anything that gets in your way. You are helped by Diddy Kong and different animals to get you through the ever more difficult country with unrealistic dream items like monkey head balloons and letter blocks. And then for multiplayer,
about Kong.
It was really cool that you and a friend could tag team Donkey Kong and Diddy, though it didn't seem to change things much from a gameplay perspective. So we remembered quite a bit. I don't think there's anything Inception-worthy in there. Would either of you disagree?
The gameplay was different between Diddy and Donkey Kong, though.
Okay. Then here you go, Paul.
Satisfied.
Satisfied customer. Very good. Paul, will you please give us the technicals for Donkey Kong Country?
No. All right, fine. Why not?
Twist
Donkey
your arm.
Kong Country, fine, is a platform video game developed by Rare. Yes, was officially published by the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Came out on November 21st, 1994 in North America, November 24th, 3 days later in Europe, and then 2 days after that in Japan. Quite the reversal. Usually it comes out in Japan. Anything else you want to know about it? Like, it was the second most popular, the second, what do you call that? Like, ever sold Super Nintendo game. It was...
second most sales? Most sold?
Most sold.
Highest sold?
Yeah, the second best-selling Super Nintendo game. There we go.
It only takes a few minds.
Yes. The first one, do you remember what the first one was? We covered it on a previous episode.
Super Mario World?
Yes. And number 3, we also covered on a previous episode.
Super Mario Kart?
Yes. So we got the top 3 now.
Oh, wow.
That'd be retroRewindPodcast.com/14 for Super Mario Kart and /20. I want to say 26 or 27 for
That's
Super
amazing.
Mario World.
You can do that.
I guess we know what the next episode will be.
Yeah. Do you know what number 4 is?
No, what?
Street Fighter 2, the World Tour. The World
Oh,
Warrior.
really?
Oh, wow.
Number 5, which I thought would have been number 4, was Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Oh.
In any event, it sounds like it made more than it probably took to create.
$9 million.
9 million. It took
Oh, 9 million
to create
copies sold. So
times 50, so like 40 million maybe.
maybe.
Or is that 400 million? We're not a math podcast, but in any event, good job, Donkey Kong Country.
Too bad it cost him $100 million to develop.
Oh my god.
Wow.
No, I don't know. It doesn't.
Because it wasn't on a 32X system.
Yeah.
Well, but we can talk a little bit about that. I don't know if either of you know that Rare had invested in Silicon Graphics, a technology to make the 3D render sprites. And it did cost. They did have to invest heavily to be able to do that. But it seems like it paid off for them with this, Killer Instinct, other similar style games.
Oh, I remember Killer Instinct.
Yeah, I loved Killer Instinct. Speaking of things we loved, let's start with Quitos. What would be one of the first things you loved about Donkey Kong Country?
Well, definitely the first thing I loved was just that intro music in the beginning, for sure. The whole, I know every Donkey Kong game has had it where they have the music in the beginning, this like weird song that's just it's perfect. It just sets the mood just right.
Yeah, I would argue that you could even carry that through the whole game. I thought the music overall just fit all the levels so well. And one of my favorite what's it called? My favorite levels just for the music were the ones where you're in the snow levels, not like the swimming one, but when you're on the mountaintop. I love that song, and it's kind of morbid. Why?
I was about to say that's not one. I don't really remember that one as much as like I do the underwater or the first one. So, well, it intrigues me that this morbid thing is associated.
Okay, slight digression. In 8th grade,
Oh, here it comes.
in 8th grade, for social studies or history class, we watched this documentary miniseries thing on the Donner Party, and the music in that
Oh.
was really like moving and sorrowful and forlorn. I'm trying to think of all words that might describe it well, and so and it is also pretty, and so I really like that music. And the only place I've found that has similar music is in Donkey Kong Country on those levels.
And
So-
it's snowing.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's snowing. So
That's weird.
And you're dying a lot.
I didn't even think about that, but yes.
Some more than others.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
How many times did you guys slide off those cliffs?
I didn't count.
Paul, what was something you loved about the game?
Oh, just going off on the music,
yeah.
I completely agree. I actually have the soundtrack because as it came out later, and there's a segment in the first song that that comes on. I think in the first level that I have as my wake up ringtone. That's how much I just love the music. It's top notch quality music all around in this game, especially for that day. This game had, compared to other games around the time, just blew everyone out of the water as far as quality is concerned with the graphics, like we talked about, and the music. At least in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was, at the time, it was certainly amazing to see these 3D graphics from a system where you've previously only seen really, I'm not sure if Star Fox was before or after this, but graphics like this you hadn't seen before.
Right.
Except on like a computer, for instance.
Yeah. It was mostly 2D sprites.
Yeah. Quitos, were the graphics something you loved, or what was something else?
The graphics, I remember as a kid seeing them and just being blown away. I remember that feeling of like, whoa, there's nothing like it. I think it was one of the first games that did it too, so, which would make sense why they, spent so much to research and develop it. But I wouldn't say the graphics now for me are really a bonus feature or like something good about it, something I loved. I thought they were okay.
Oh. Yeah, when I first turned it on, I remember the graphics being amazing, and then I turned it on, I'm like, wow, this is a lot more pixelated than I remembered.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, maybe we'll get more to the graphics a little bit later.
All right.
At least maybe for me.
Maybe.
but-
Maybe not. Maybe we'll just let it be.
yeah, Paul, let's go back to you. What was something else you liked about Donkey Kong Country?
The gameplay. I love the controls. If I move left or right, it seemed very easy to control the characters, even though that Donkey Kong was a little bit felt slightly slower than Diddy Kong, but like the way they roll, like if you want to roll off the ledge and jump, it was I loved the gameplay, the controls part of it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I didn't really think about that. And I think because it was so easy moving and controlling, jumping, I don't recall having any issues. My thing came more in sort of like timing when I jumped.
Yeah, I felt like I could just jump right in. I didn't really have to think about the controls. It was just like I was playing a 2D platformer again. It wasn't. There was no. It wasn't like Mario Kart.
And that's what I loved about it, is that there wasn't really a calibration period where like, okay, I have to get used to the controls. Like you said, Keithos, you jump right in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As far as controls, sort of speaking to the gameplay element of Donkey Kong Country, I really liked that when you jump into a barrel, especially the ones where it swings like all the way around or just through a certain sequence, and when you get it just right to hit another barrel that then you have to do, and you can like string those together and
Yeah.
just go boom, boom, boom. That's such a good feeling, and I don't know why, but the way they design it, it's just like yes.
I don't know why either. I have that written down as one of my likes, shooting out of the barrels and the timing. It's like a little mini game within the game.
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
that's a good way to describe it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing I did like about it, was it felt like it was more than just one game. Although it's a 2D platformer, it felt like it had the barrel shooting, it had the swimming, it had the mine carts, it had all these different ways to play it, which I thought was actually, it kept the game alive.
Yeah.
Totally.
Agree.
What other things kept the game alive for you, Keithos?
Let's see. Well, I have a list of. I'm gonna pass because I have a list of dislikes.
Okay.
I don't know how many.
But long list there, not so much on the loves.
If I think of
Interesting.
one, I'll let
Well,
you
I'll
know.
go back to the like the little mini games, as I enjoyed the matching up going into finding the caves, trying to find all the little caves, and trying to match the letters. Like did you get to the one where you had to spell out Nintendo?
Oh no! The
No.
furthest I got was one where you had to spell out Kong.
Yeah, there was another
Yeah, I
one where the
had
letters
that.
circled around in mixed up order, and if you did it in the right order, it spelled out Nintendo.
Oh, cool.
So little games like that I thought were fun, and the ability to write on the animals' backs, I thought added another level that just
totally.
enhanced the gameplay. And then their little games to go along with that. You know, when you collected 3 of the golden coins of those animals.
What was your guys' favorite animal to
Oh,
use?
I think. Oh,
go ahead. No, go ahead, answer that, because I was going to follow that up with another question.
For me, it was. I really loved Rambi, the rhino.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
probably my
why.
favorite. Well, this is the first one. It's like the one you do the most.
Yeah.
I think he's easier to control than like the Hoppy the Frog or
The
Yeah.
sword.
ostrich or the what'd you say, the swordfish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Paul,
was
what
gonna say
about
with
you?
the.
Oh,
I was gonna say with the swordfish. I wish you could like. It seemed like you could only swim fast in like little spurts. It seems like he should have been able to swim fast like all the way through. Like you could just hold it down and essentially run through the water.
Well, he was a lot easier to control while swimming. I think that I guess the game developers felt that was enough.
I suppose. But were you gonna
but
say something else, Paul?
I was gonna let Kitos go before I ask my next question.
okay. Yeah. So my favorite was actually the ostrich.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
I loved being able to jump and basically hover above the entire screen.
Yeah, but then
I-
I felt I was missing some of the level. Like,
yeah.
maybe I should be down there. But forget you guys.
I don't know. From what I looked when I was looking down below from the ostrich, it didn't look very fun. So,
yeah, and
Yeah.
I only recall doing that in one level. Were there more levels where you could do that?
I think there was either 2 or 3. I know I only did 2.
Oh, okay.
There might have been another part.
Speaking of riding the animals and playing the games where you collect as many of those little coins when you got like 3 of the golden
yeah.
animals. Did you? I think it was the frog one where I found this little cave and there was a giant gold frog in it. It was worth like several hundred of them.
Oh, really? No,
What?
I saw one where there was like a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Yeah, for the swordfish, right?
No, that
Yeah.
was that was for the frog. Maybe
Oh,
the
really? For the
swordfish, too.
frog?
I
Yeah,
thought
but there was one, but I was wondering if you guys found if any of the other animals had like the giant coins in that. And
I don't know.
I
Maybe.
didn't find a giant coin in those.
Okay.
I had I did the swordfish one and I did the ostrich and the rhino.
And how do you remember your highest score for collecting in one round was?
It was 290.
Wow. I think I got up into the 400s with the ostrich one, because you could hover and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
with the frog one, because I got the giant frog, it was in 500. So I win.
Oh wow.
Sorry.
Nice. Good job. As an aside, guys, and everyone watching, I'm sorry for being a little bit lame. How are you guys answering the questions in the Q&A? I can't seem to figure that out. Are you on the actual Google page and that's how you're doing it?
Me
Paul,
right now?
Well, you've put a few things in the Q&A.
Yeah, I'm in the Google Hangout part, not in the other one. So down on the bottom right, it says ask a new question. So I just ask a new question.
Oh, I'm not even seeing that. That's
Wait,
interesting.
yeah. Where's that?
That's in the Google Hangout.
Yeah, I don't see that in the Google Hangout.
Oh, I hope I'm not the only one. I guess maybe I'm the moderator.
QA. Okay, I have QA now. Okay, I have it.
Well, I see all the questions, but I'm just not seeing a
Oh,
thing
how
to
to answer them.
respond.
Ah.
Yeah.
So what questions are you seeing?
So I see, got it on my phone and it's better.
Yeah.
Soon by Sharon. What's up by you. Sad face by you. Just joining. You guys are on a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've
So-
been answering. Yeah.
Okay,
All
cool.
right, go
As
back
long
to
as
the
you can
show.
answer, then awesome, Paul. Then
All right.
Yeah.
you fly with that on your ostrich.
Yeah. I wish it would fly. Oh, the one thing I didn't like about the ostrich is that you had to like press the jump
Yeah.
button to fly further, and there'd be gaps, and I'm like, I don't think there's gaps in my pressing, but obviously there must be. It's so frustrating.
Oh, I thought you had to hit it once and just hold, and
Really?
then she or he would keep flying down. Yeah.
Oh, maybe
as opposed
I-
to pressing.
I kept pressing. Yeah, I kept pressing it.
Yeah, try that if you play again.
Oh.
Just press
Yeah.
it once and hold after you've jumped.
Mm-hmm.
Press that running button again.
All right.
And that's kind of a mechanical thing.
Sure.
Something mechanical about the game that I liked was having this sidekick of Diddy Kong right there ran along with you is almost like having a bonus life.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that was so helpful, especially when you're trying to jump over an enemy and you just don't quite get it, but then it switches players and you can continue on. I really liked that.
Yeah, and I liked how they both had different strengths about them.
Yeah, speaking of
go ahead.
the bonus, basically having a bonus life with the character, I found I beat every boss with Diddy. 'Cause I would always lose Donkey.
And I
So-
found it was the opposite because I would always lose Donkey and beat it with Diddy.
Oh, so I favored playing level serve overall with Donkey, and I guess with Quitos that's the same for you. But Paul, you favored using Diddy Kong.
Oh, definitely.
So why is that though? Because he couldn't take out really a lot of the enemies just by jumping on them.
No,
And
but
then
he could easily jump over them. He could either twirl jump into them, or it felt to me that he could jump over them easier, or jump over obstacles easier.
I sure did not find that. It seemed like they jumped the same amount to me.
Oh, and maybe that might be true, but that's just. I think
Yeah.
he was quicker, like back
Yeah,
and forth.
he could turn faster. it
Yeah,
felt
he
like.
could
Okay.
I could out juke people a lot easier.
Yeah, it felt like his jump was taller, at least to me. It felt just a hint taller.
Okay. All right. I will concede to you guys. I have a couple other things that I like before my most liked thing, but how many more do you guys have? I know Quitos is pretty sparse on likes. Paul, how many more do you have, do you think?
I'm looking down my list of I said gameplay and the controls. I said we talked about the graphics, the music, the shooting out of the barrels, the riding of the animals, and the music. So I have only one more. So go for it.
Okay. Quitos, was I correct? You don't really have any more, except for your
Yeah.
most loved thing,
Yeah.
which hopefully you've saved. Just a couple real quick for me. I loved the difficulty. I felt the overall difficulty of the game ramped up really gradually and at a really good pace. It wasn't like, okay, maybe one level is easy and then all of a sudden it's really hard or
Yeah,
anything
that's
like
pretty
that.
True.
Except the first level played, I just kept dying and dying. I think mainly because I was dialing into playing the controls again, but I just why am I dying so much? It's so odd. But I eventually got it, and then I felt like it was pretty gradual. And
Right
then
on.
I felt like is cool that even late in the game, you were still getting new enemies, like the snakes
Yeah.
toward the end, and certainly they use different colored crocodiles or
But they got tougher with it.
yeah. I just thought that was cool that it wasn't just repurposed. I mean, Grandpa Kong, I forget if that is his actual name, but
Cranky Kong.
Cranky Kong, yeah. The opening is one of his lines toward the end of the game, so that's where I got that from. But even though they did use some repurposed things, I thought it was cool that they still introduced new enemies even late into the game.
Cool.
With that, Quitos, let's start with you. What is your most loved thing about Donkey Kong Country?
So my most loved thing about it, I would say, is it has to be the last fight, the last boss fight.
Oh, with
at the
K.
end.
Rool
Yeah,
/
yeah,
Cruel.
Cruel. I thought
I
it was.
never got there. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Like
Okay.
ever?
Ever.
When you, oh, wow. Are you
So-
okay with us spoiling this?
Yeah. So I'm excited. I want to hear about it.
So most of the boss fights. I mean, I'll go into this later on as well in in the dislike section. But most of the boss fights didn't impress me very much. They were kind of either too easy or too frustrating. But this fight, the last guy, the King Cruel, it was done well because it ramped up difficulty till it was the hardest at the end, and it had this like speed up effect. So the more damage you did to him, the faster and faster he got. And there was like different stages to the fight as well. He didn't do the same thing over and over and over again. Well, I mean, he does do similar moves, but it changes. It changes into three different fights. And then at the very end, when it's like rolling the credits, he actually gets up and you start battling again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
wow.
it's kind of funny because the credits as they're going up, it says like game design is Kremlin, game music is Cremoso, or they're just different like variations on the crocodile
That
names.
sounds vaguely familiar, but maybe I saw that somewhere else.
So I got to that part. I'm like, this is kind of weird. These people in the credits, right? And then he gets up, and I've let go of my controller at this point.
No.
So he takes out Diddy right then and there. I'm like,
Oh no!
So all I got
wow.
is Donkey left. Yeah. So that was that took me by surprise, and I thought that was really well done. I thought the design of that was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly that was one of the more enjoyable boss fights. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Cool. Something to look forward to.
I love
Yes.
the cannons firing. That was fun.
Oh, I didn't quite really notice that. Was that when the ball was dropping?
Yeah,
The cannons were dropping? I
Yeah.
didn't hear the cannon fire. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. I'll go next, then we'll end with Paul. The most loved thing the thing I love the most about Donkey Kong Country was just the overall level design. Never seemed rehashed. It always seemed like they were giving you new challenges and new ways. I was never bored when I was playing a level. It always seemed new and interesting, and I thought that was amazing to be able to do that for so many levels.
Yeah.
I have to agree too. It really felt like they, even up into the last level, there were I felt pretty challenged. Like, okay, this is not necessarily something I've done before, so I had to figure it out.
Yeah. And I thought the graphics of the level, we already talked about the graphics, but some of them were really amazing. Even like there was the one level where it's like it's a cave, but it's like all gems and like and it's just like
I don't know.
stellar,
I'm not
beautiful.
remembering that, but
It's later. Quitos knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
well, I beat the game, so I thought I got through everything, but
Well, anyway.
I know it was. I'm pretty sure that Gem Cavern was in the ice section where
Okay.
I think
that
so.
mountain caps were.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh. So like ice gem. Okay, yes.
Mhm.
I'm thinking like these multicolored ruby, emerald. Okay.
No, it was like all blue, but it
Yeah.
looks like
Okay,
gems or something.
Yeah, it
do
looks
know
like
that,
crystals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crystal caverns or something.
I like the just off of that topic. I like the industrial stage. I thought
Yeah,
that
that was
was
interesting.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, very, very, and it. Never mind. I agree.
Paul, what was your most loved thing?
Playability and replayability, I have in parentheses, because this is a game that I personally like to revisit every few or several years. If it's been a while since I've played the Super Nintendo, it's one of those things like every so often I'll go back to. This is one of the games that I go back to. Like I said,
cool.
that where the gameplay is like easy to pick up, and the first level, you know it so well, or at least I do because I play it so often.
Yeah, you haven't beaten the game.
No, I've never beaten the game because I don't play for that long usually.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So usually I don't even get to the first boss of that entire island or the first world or whatever.
I was gonna say, if you play each time you play, you should play to the next save point, and then you get progressively farther.
Yeah, but that I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Anyway.
the playability and the replayability for me is by far the best thing about it. It's something that I love to, if it's been a few years to go back and revisit. It's a fun revisit.
Very nice.
That's funny, and I think that's a good segue into the dislikes for me. Unless you guys got anything else to say.
Well, I did want to take a pause and say, if anyone watching, if you have a question, please go ahead and put them in, and we'll try to answer them on air. But while you're doing that, let's go ahead and go around real quick and say how we played this game. Quitos, how did you replay this game?
So actually, since we're live, I can show you guys.
On your shield.
Yeah, so I played
That's
it
cool.
here on my shield. I think I ended it with you can see the intro screen right there with Cranky Kong playing his I forget what it's called. Oh yeah, you can see all the good stuff.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Little intro video. But anyways, yeah, so I played on my shield. Highly recommend it.
Cool.
It's best emulator ever.
Wow.
Can emulate whatever.
Can you rewind on that?
I don't know. There might be an emulator that allows you to, but it does have fast forward.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Cool.
And I played it with this dog on my lap. If you can see the dog.
For those watching, that was the dog barking in the background earlier.
Yeah,
Hi,
sorry.
Bentley.
This
That's
is
okay.
Bentley, or Spoiled.
Hi, Bentley.
Anyway, I played it on the
Has Bentley beaten the game?
we don't talk the same language yet, so I haven't been able to figure that out. Anyway, I played it on the emulator XP, Windows XP, with the Xbox 360 wireless controller.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
And I have a little story. I'll try to keep it short. I wanted to
late.
buy this on the Virtual Console, but Nintendo pulled it like last year sometime. It was available for quite a while, but then they inexplicably said, "We're not going to sell this anymore. We don't want to make money." So I was at an impasse because I really didn't want to just use emulator and ROM illegally because I don't own a copy of the game.
Right.
So I was like, do I have to buy a Super Nintendo? Well, no. There's actually a retro gaming store. They have so many games. If you're in Portland, Beaverton, Hillsborough area, check out Retro Game Trader. They're on Highway 10. Talked to Ryan. He was really nice. But it was really great. So I was able to get the Game Boy Advance port of
Nice.
Donkey Kong Country.
Wow.
So let's see.
Is that
There's
the same
camera.
game?
It's slightly changed. It's really hard to see there. Come on, Zoom. Anyway, there's some bonus stages that aren't in the original game, and you don't get the cool Cranky Kong intro with the phonograph. So I was kind of disappointed with that. But it's still like multiplayer if you have a Game Boy link up or what have you, and it's all the same graphics from what I could tell. So
Cool.
I gotta ask, because I don't remember multiplayer at all. What made it any good? Do you guys remember?
well, for me,
As
it's
brothers, you don't remember?
exactly.
I
I'm surprised, Quitos.
I don't.
Well, just the idea that you could have two people playing essentially at the same time without waiting. Oh, when I die, then it's your turn. It's
Well,
like
you could,
when
you
your
could
character
tag
does die.
the other person in. Yeah, one
That's
of you
true,
was
too.
Donkey, and the other person was Diddy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is
So
that
the
how it
other
works?
person had to
Yeah.
wait.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was like two people jumping around at the same time. I was like, that would get so
No, that's how it
confusing.
is nowadays.
And that's how it was in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, where you had like it was like split screen Sonic on the top,
Yeah.
Tails on the bottom.
And you would always
Yeah.
leave Tails behind, and he'd have
Yeah.
to fly in.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
All right. Whoa. So it doesn't look like we have any questions, but thank you to our one viewer watching. We appreciate you. Let's move on, Quitos. It sounded like you had quite the
Yeah.
segue from
From
Paul's.
Paul's replayability.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Take
what I
it
like
away.
most, and I'm sticking to it. I'm sorry to disagree.
So I like that. That's one of my top dislikes about the game. Is after I beat it, I didn't want to play it anymore. It's like I'm done with
Oh.
this game.
Wow. Good thing
I don't
I haven't
know.
beaten it. Then maybe that's why.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, it's just to me like once I beat it, it felt like I really experienced everything it had to offer. Even at the end screen, it tells you though to play again to find all the secrets. But I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe as a kid, I would have been more like, "Oh yeah, I got to get all the secrets." But
Mm,
having grown up a bit, it's like, okay, I've seen what the game can offer. Going and finding all these little secrets isn't necessarily going to add any fun to it.
yeah.
Oh, I disagree. I enjoyed it. There was some where it was like, there was a barrel there. I have no way how to get there. Or there's like, all right, there's the O, and I go back, and there is no K anywhere. But so I have to buy a book or
Save
But
up your
nowadays
birthday
there's-
money, Paul.
YouTube.
Yeah, there is. That's true. For me, I'd have to agree with you, Kitos. I did not find it all that. I got to the end, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't know if I really need to play this again. But
Until Donkey Kong Country 2 came out.
search for more money.
Yeah. Search for more bananas.
Exactly. Something that I really hated, not my most hated thing, but I said before that I died so many times on the first level. I just was sad that that is mainly I was upset at myself as opposed to being upset at the game. But
As you should
there
be.
it is. As I should be.
Well, as much as you did die a lot, right? I thought some of the deaths were totally uncalled for. Like the designers put it in just to give you a death there, like the force you to die there, so you'd have to play again.
Like,
I didn't really
I'm curious
find that. Yeah.
at what point, because I sort of agree with you for one point, but I'm curious of what you mean.
Okay,
Like, for
so
example.
for example, there were certain enemies that would be off screen that would, like, as soon as you jump into like a certain area, they'd knock you off and you die instantly. Not
Are
not
you
knock
talking-
you off, but kill you.
Are you talking about the very last mine level?
Okay, that's another dislike, but I don't want to get started on that one yet.
Okay.
No,
Well, I'll be
this
touching on it soon enough. So
it had to do with some of the vultures that shot stuff at you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
There were parts where you couldn't see them at all until you were already in a jump, and
Yeah.
it would hurt you. And it's like, okay, so now I have to go back through that
Yep.
zone again, and then
remember that. Yeah.
and remember it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like, okay, if it even gave me a shot, I could have done something to
But
not die.
that's part of the puzzle of the level to figure out where and when to jump.
I wouldn't say puzzle as much as memory game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can understand where it is. It felt a little like
Cheap.
cheap death just to
Mhm.
keep me on. Which I mean, I went through and did everything anyways, but it just that
Didn't
just
stop
stuck
you.
in my mind. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, this one death won't stop me.
One of the cheap, what I felt was a cheap death was more of the, for example, Diddy Kong holding a barrel full of dynamite so that, like, if you touch a wall where a passage is, it would explode or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then a certain enemy would jump at you from a certain angle, and it looked like it would hit the barrel, but it wouldn't. It would kill you, and the barrel would not explode. So you'd lose Diddy and the barrel, and you die. And it's like, come on, the barrel is supposed to protect me.
Yeah.
And
I had
so
some
that's
of
what
that.
I felt was a cheap death. It's something like, but like you said, I survived or came back and was able to get past it.
So you got over that, Paul. But what was something you couldn't get over with this game?
Something that we touched on before. I thought the bosses were a little too easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, a little too simple. I liked how they progressively got a little bit harder, but let's get it harder sooner.
You know what? I felt like it was easy. Then you hit the Queen Bee boss, and I was like, I hate this boss. And it was pretty hard for me to beat Queen Bee. But then after that, it was easy. And then K. Rool, I'd think even Queen Bee was harder than K. Rool, though K. Rool was way funner to play because of all the variety.
Oh, really? I see the Queen Bee for me. I did that. I think my first try. That one was
aren't-
super quick for me.
Good for the
hard
good for the
one.
tuna, Keith.
Yeah.
Good for the tuna.
The hardest one for me was the bird, the second bird, the
Oh,
purple
really?
one.
That's pretty easy for me.
Oh man, that
I got that in my
I
first try.
died.
No, not really.
I think I lost 10 lives on that one alone.
Is that that's not
tough.
Is that the one with the tire in the middle and you have to jump on its head?
Yeah, exactly. But it was the second one because they reused that boss.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I didn't get that far.
And
This
this
time
one
around.
shot its coconuts or whatever
Yeah.
really fast at you, and it was almost
I'm not sure why
impossible to
vultures-
dodge them.
I'm not sure why vultures have coconuts, but whatever.
Yeah.
They got a lovely bunch of them, whatever it is.
Okay, Paul. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and go back to you. What was something else you didn't like?
Nothing else on my list. What was my most? Oops, which one was? Better
Well, I'll
come
go-
back to me.
I'll go again. It often felt like, okay, let's touch on the graphics, some guys.
Alright.
Yeah. I felt like Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong and all the enemies felt, this is probably not the right way to express it, but felt like they were green screened onto the background. They felt like they were just sort of,
Well, they were. That's what a
floating.
sprite is.
well, but the thing was, I think what would have sold the graphics way better is if they had shadows. They don't have shadows on
Oh,
the
I didn't
ground.
even notice.
And so it almost feels like they're just floating through the level, even though the way the background moves in comparison to your character feels like they are moving at the right speed, but it just feels like they're not there. They're almost like, yeah, they're floating is the best way I can use to describe it. So
I noticed that the most on the rats. The rats really had that problem.
Were they rats? I thought they were like beavers. The
Maybe they're two
naughties?
different animals.
I don't know. They had like a rat's tail. It looked like they didn't have a beaver tail.
I suppose, yeah. I think a rat has more of a snout than those guys did, but whatever.
I thought they were just like overly animated rats.
Well,
Maybe
everything
they're-
was overly animated. So what are you talking about?
Oh,
Anyway, okay.
rat, beaver. I don't know.
So that
Those
was my
guys.
my gripe with the graphics.
Mhm.
Quitos was someone else you didn't like from your long list.
Yeah. So, the other thing I didn't like was the.
Wow, your list is.
Oh
shocking.
no! Well, it's in my brain.
Your mind vault. Okay.
Yeah, my mind vault. No, the reuse of the bosses that and enemies actually. I really didn't like that. It was always the same enemies. The level design I thought was amazing,
Huh.
but the fact that they kept using the same enemies over and over again, I didn't really like that.
Interesting. I didn't feel like it
Aw.
was all that repeated, but all right.
No, well, I understand what he means, but it's not like today's games. I guess they'd have like, okay, there's 40 different enemies for one level, and every level has, and none of the enemies repeat itself hardly.
Yeah.
But
Quitos, if you're writing, it sounds there's
I-
lots of.
No, hold on.
I'm not writing.
I'm not. It's my dog. He's
Oh,
writing a letter.
okay.
It's like this
Oh.
podcast. I don't know. He's writing his complaints to Microsoft that owns Rare now.
Can't believe that these Perfect Dark movies weren't very. Perfect Dark games weren't that good. Come on.
No, I thought the reuse of enemies was annoying because it didn't make sense to me that there were crocodiles in an ice cavern.
That makes sense.
So weird.
Well, you know what, Quitos? I mean, there's a lot to this game. I mean, how did all these crocodiles get on the island to begin with? And why did they enlist? If this is Donkey Kong's island, you think he would have a lot more friends than he does throughout the
Well,
island?
he does. He does.
Yeah, but there's a lot more enemies than bad guys. It seems like it would be the reverse, if anything.
Speaking of his friends, another dislike.
Yeah.
So it felt like besides Candy, the other two were useless.
Oh, Funky
Cranky
Kong.
and
Cranky.
Cranky and Funky. They were
No.
like
Now, Funky Kong had the awesome music track where it's like. Dun, 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 dun. Now they should have had that when you press pause, because then that would like be on the same level as Battletoads when you press pause. You know.
Dun, dun, dun. No, wait, I'm thinking Street
Anyway,
Fighter. Oh, Frank, I
but
forget
so
what-
Funky Kong did have a use besides, and it wasn't traveling.
Okay, that's
Yeah, no,
interesting.
That's my opinion.
the travel thing. I mean, to me, I guess if you're going through the game for secrets, it's useful. But I never used the function once, so
Yeah,
it's
I
kinda
did
Like,
either.
yeah.
So you don't know the music I'm talking about?
No,
No, I've visited it.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
just not that. memorable.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
And I found Cranky Kong. The tips he gave didn't do anything for you because they either came way late in the game after you've already figured out like everything. So I don't know why he was talking at all. It
Yeah,
was-
it was a waste of space.
There was one tip he had where I was like, he gave a tip and I kind of remembered it, and then when I did what I would have done anyway, I was like, oh, this is what the tip was trying to get you to do. Okay, interesting. Which came right after, but otherwise, yeah, they weren't all that helpful that I found.
His-
I think if you were playing this as like maybe an elementary school student, they might have been helpful and might
Yeah.
have been like, ooh, I wonder what this is talking about. Let me like write this down so I can remember it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I should hold the Y button down to run. Cool, thanks, Cranky Kong.
Yeah, it was. his last one, I don't know. I know, Paul, you probably didn't get to see it, but his last one was kind of funny. He was like, "Oh, I could beat this game in an hour." He was like talking, breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah,
stuff,
I did enjoy that type of stuff. Yes.
Yeah, I thought if they had maybe more of that, it would have been better. Yeah, I felt his position was kind of weak. So.
I liked Cranky's humor, but I felt like what his role of giving tips was not necessary. They should have just pumped up the humor more. I thought that would have been great.
Yeah, yeah. Especially in between all the dying in the game, you need some kind of humor break.
That'd be funny if you get like a little like bubble. Like, I told you not to fall in pits or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so annoying. Hey, listen!
Navi, shut up.
So that brings me to another thing. I think he gave a tip on it. This is another dislike of mine. I think he gave a tip on it, but I might have been too mad at him at this point. But I died a lot in the first few levels. Sorry, everyone. Paul's.
I'm pointing to Navi on my shirt.
Yeah, press Y to talk to Navi. I didn't know. I was dying in the first few levels because I didn't know that. What was it? The button that makes Diddy Kong do his cartwheel and stuff, right? If you hold that down while jumping, you'll actually jump really far.
Right.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, that's what I was talking about.
I was wondering what you were talking about, actually. I didn't say anything, but okay.
Well, yeah, so that's not... as far as I know, that wasn't explained anywhere, although I faintly remember he saying some kind of tip like that, but this was in level 12 where he talks it's like I need to know that so much earlier. And so it was just that was a big dislike of mine. They had no mention of it. So to me it felt like once again they were trying to just get you to die till you figure it out.
I didn't know you could switch the characters for a while.
Oh really?
Yeah, but that's probably came in the instruction booklet.
Maybe.
Going off this this rat trail or this rant, what use was Donkey Kong pounding the ground? Did that kill bad guys or?
Yeah, it could. As they approach some of the bad guys, you could pound.
I rarely use that. It would have been cooler if that would have opened up the pits.
I know, right?
But that wouldn't have been as challenging.
I suppose, but...
Well, maybe if you lost Donkey, it would be.
Yes, exactly. Then you can do that. Something else that I didn't like was... I kind of sneered each time there was a water level. I'm like, I don't want to play a water level.
Oh, you don't like the water level. Well, if you hold down and jump at the same time... You don't, or like down and to the right, then you swim in a straight line.
Oh, well, that's interesting, but
you didn't care enough to find out.
No, I liked the music of the water levels. Again, the music throughout was awesome.
Yeah,
but yes, very soothing. But it was not fun.
I'll be honest. Those water levels, I knew there was like areas with secrets, and I just skipped them.
I found quite a few of them. I found quite a few of them, but it didn't make it any funner or like, yes, this is awesome.
Yeah, I just I didn't like the water levels either. I mean,
I liked them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Glad you liked them.
Paul really likes those water levels.
Yes, he does. Something else I didn't like before. I have one more before my most hated thing. But trying to beat... Okay. I don't know how... So, again, I was just playing the Game Boy Advance port. I don't know how it is on the actual Super Nintendo one, but when you save it, does it tell you how much, like a percentage of how much of the game you've completed?
Yes.
Okay. So I get to what's the last level, I don't know it's the last level, and my save says I've only unlocked 56% of the game. And I'm dying like gangbusters on this level. I'm getting so frustrated. And I'm thinking this game is going to go on for another 50% forever, and I'm trying to beat it by the time the show comes on. And if this level is this hard, how am I ever going to beat any level to come after it? So I'm getting so frustrated. And then I finally beat it. I'm like, oh yes, I beat it. I beat it. And then I go and fight the two-head vulture once, and I die. I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to save it and come back and do this later. I hit the save button because in the Game Boy Advance version, you can save pretty much at any point from the world map, which is kind of cool. But I decided, no, I'm going to go ahead and cancel, and because I wanted to save. There are two different ways to save. The way I chose to save, though, was essentially quit the game. So save and quit or quit. And I didn't realize that, and I quit before I saved the completion of that last stage, so I had to do it again.
Oh, man.
Well, you got more use out of it then.
Wait, what two-headed vulture?
Well, no, the one head here, one head here, so it wasn't really two-headed. It's on both sides. The one with the tire in the middle.
Yeah.
I described it poorly. Yeah, that did sound like one vulture.
I was like,
is
this one of those bonus stages you were talking about? I'm like,
yes.
So
that sounds impossible.
So
yeah,
half of
how
that
can a vulture have two heads? Come on, Francisco. That's impossible.
Anyway, half of that was a really frustrating level. I wish I would have known it was the last stage. Then I'd be like, okay, good. It's awesome that this is.
Yeah, but how is that the game's fault?
Yeah, I was gonna say half of it is human error, me not saving it when I did, and
half of it sounds like all of it.
Well, I mean, one of the things I agree with though is, yeah, I was at like 50% completion when I got to the last stage. I'm like, this doesn't seem right at all. How am I at 50% completion when?
Because you took an ostrich and flew over the levels.
Yeah, so I guess you would say that's like a positive, but to me it's kind of like a dislike. I didn't
go back and find all those letters that you didn't want to. All those swimming holes that you avoided.
Yeah, it was all those.
You can't have it both ways.
Anyway, let's move on to our most hated things about Donkey Kong Country. Let's start with Paul, then me, then we'll do Quitos, who seem to have the most vitriol.
Yeah, I have the hated one for this one.
The thing I hated most about this is that Quitos did not like it as much as he should have. That's what I hated most. No, I already spoke and said that how the bosses weren't as difficult. Some of the levels were way harder than the bosses. So,
yes, absolutely.
I mean, but you know, I'm
that
glad.
didn't seem to bother you for Super Mario World, if I remember correctly. Like me and Quitos felt that way, but you were like, no, it's fine.
You know what? I remembered while playing this, I was like, I remember Francisco and Quitos saying that the bosses should be harder, and these are easy. What's up with that? You guys brainwashed me to think that way now. So now it's my most hated thing about this game. It's all because of you guys.
Don't let anyone tell you the Retro Rewind podcast wasn't good for something. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. For me, my most hated thing was, and this is actually different from one of Quitos' likes, is I thought the way the game ended was I don't know, I just really didn't like it. So after K. Rool comes up after the real credits, so you fight him. I think the fight's awesome, but then after the real credits happen, you listen through it. K. Rool gets up and says like, "Okay, Kongs, get off my boat because I'm gonna leave," and I felt that was like, okay, I thought you were dead, and then they get off the boat and swim away. I'm like, what?
Wait, what?
Beat him.
Is that after the credits?
So this
He never stayed.
Yes, this is all after the real credits. After you've seen all the enemies and everything, this happens. So and I don't think it's just the Game Boy version. I think this is all versions, but let me
Uh-huh.
know if I'm wrong on that, good listener. So what happens is, yeah, they leave. You see the boat floating away, and then all the Kongs, because all the Kongs show up on board, and so they're all swimming back to the island. And I thought that doesn't make any sense because Donkey Kong, you just beat Croc. He should not be in any position to get you off the boat. So,
See,
time
that's so.
for another
What?
retro rewrite
Wait.
slash
Wait.
Cisco's fabulous fan fiction. Let me finish,
Wait.
and then you can.
Every time you try to do a rewrite, someone stops you.
This one's really quick, okay, guys.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So, what should happen is that you beat after you've defeated Cruel, K. Rule. You should essentially ask him. You should say you gotta walk the plank, and so he ends up in the ocean, and then Kong gets to keep the boat as spoils of war, along with all his bananas, and then. Because K. Rool comes back in the sequel, they essentially said, "Yeah, I need to leave so I can come back and thwart you in the sequel or take your bananas in the sequel." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So you make him walk the plank. You think he's dead, maybe, or just gone, and
Swims
then
away.
in the sequel, you can set up. Oh, there's this mysterious force like taking all the bananas and changing mind controlling all the animals or something like that, and you don't know it's K. Rool, and then at the end you find out it's K. Rool. It's this like big reveal. But no, you know it's K. Rool the whole time. And so I don't know why they ended the way they did. It didn't make any sense from a
It's like they
storytelling
weren't
perspective.
thinking of a sequel at the time.
Well, maybe, but
Well,
that's a
okay,
good point,
that's
Paul. That's a good point, actually.
that's a weird thing because part of what you said actually does happen in the version I played when I finished. Maybe it's a difference between the Game Boy one you have
Maybe.
and the emulator one.
I'm
but
going to try to get there while we're doing
okay, yeah, no. The Kong actually goes into the banana field, and Cranky's like, "Oh, here's all your spoils of war," and it's this mountains of bananas. You didn't
Yeah,
see that?
No, I did not see that. I go back. I can if I go back to my Fortress of Solitude, the treehouse.
Uh-huh.
You see your cave filled with bananas again, but I didn't see that. That
Yeah,
I
it
remember.
was the ending scene.
So maybe it's just the difference between, and maybe they knew it was a sequel, so that makes it even worse. If they
Yeah.
knew there was a sequel and then they wrote the ending that way, that's stupid.
That's so weird. Yeah, because I don't remember the scene you're talking about, but
Man,
uh,
this game.
at least part of your rewrite exists.
Yeah, well, okay, good point. All right, Kitos, lay it on us.
Okay.
Wait, so
My-
your most hated thing about this game didn't even exist in half the games,
Possible.
right? Okay, all right. Go for it, Kitos.
Okay. With that, yeah.
I'm
so
representing
my-
the Game Boy Advance audience.
All right. We include everyone.
Exactly.
So my most despised thing about Donkey Kong Country.
Ooh, is the makeup on the girl monkeys, or they're just putting clothes on monkeys?
So unrealistic.
Well, no. Although that's bad, but we won't get into that.
That goes without saying. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's got to be the mine carts. It
Oh,
has to
those
be.
were so challenged. In
Oh,
fact,
yeah.
that's the furthest I've ever got is one of the minecart levels. I couldn't get past. That's the.
That was
But I
your
don't know
endpoint.
which one. It had to do with on and off, and anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about
The-
in the minecart?
Yeah,
because
where you
that
have to-
sounds like the where you turn the lights and stop the rock guys.
Yeah, wasn't there one that had both, or no? Am I mixing up the
No.
levels?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
There might be one in one of the other games, but in this one there wasn't.
Okay.
It was separate.
Yeah,
Um,
real quick, have you guys either of you played the sequels? I don't think I have.
I have. Yeah.
Shortly. Not for
I
mine.
played the N64 one.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily a sequel. Isn't that?
He
Well,
meant
whatever.
Donkey Kong Country 2 or Donkey Kong Country 3.
Yeah, exactly.
I did play number 2, but I didn't play number 3.
Oh, okay. All right.
And actually 2, I think, is where that thing is, Paul. Where there's the stoplights and the minecart switch. I can't. That's probably why I never beat it.
So,
Okay.
so what did you? Why was the minecart so bad for you? Just because they were so hard, or?
Okay.
I'm trying to beat K. Rool while you're
Because
talking, so I'm sorry if my attention's
Who can
split.
lift an entire metal cart while it's going?
Oh, that's
No,
a good point.
no.
Yeah, good
It's
point.
not like real world, real world translated. No, it's the carts were the most difficult thing about the entire game. But
I thought you
it's-
love a challenge. This is
Okay,
a guy
I
who
like
puts
it.
it on
Yeah,
like
come
the
on.
most difficult first thing. So you'd be like, dude, this is the best part of the game. It instantly kills me 3 seconds every time.
I love
No,
it.
okay, that's the thing. Even after learning exactly the level, like I memorized that level by heart now at this point because I played it so much.
Sure.
Banana.
Even after remembering it, having it perfectly memorized, jumping at the right time is still it feels luck. It feels luck based. It
You know,
doesn't feel like skill based.
I'd have to agree with that. Sometimes I'm like, did I really just beat? Did I really get through this level? I don't know how, because I felt like I was doing the same thing. Oh, and
I
Paul,
know,
so
right.
here's how the ending looks. It's like clap, trap. This is like the false ending. So it says the end question mark, and then we'll see Carol gets back up. Oh, phew, he almost got me. Okay, anyway, continue.
Yeah. So, to me, it felt no matter how good I was, it felt like luck based. It felt like no matter how I pressed the button to jump or stuff, I would die. And so it was just like there was not enough space
Got
to
the
make an
banana.
error. If that makes any sense.
So your
Yeah.
weakness is in the confidence of yourself, because I figured that obviously I didn't jump in time, or so you know yourself so well that like, dude, I know I pressed it at the exact pixel, and
No. Yeah, no, I there were multiple times I said that. I was
Could
like ready to throw the controller because it was like I pressed jump. Like I'm yelling at my shield. I pressed jump.
That's funny. Could it have been like the emulator, something with the emulator?
Yeah, I mean, see, yeah, it could be something with like the button isn't quick enough. It doesn't take my action quick enough, and then of course because it is an emulator, it could there could be some kind of lag between the button press. So it's definitely possible that's what caused it to be so inaccurate. I think is the best word. Whenever I jumped, I didn't know if it was I couldn't make it go on the right pixel, no matter how hard I tried.
Okay. Well, I think we've sort of beat that to death. Get it? Deaths with the mine cards. Anyway, it was funny to me. Now that we've entered all our information into the firing computer, let's see if Alice has a firing solution for us.
Firing solution complete. Rating salvo at the ready. On your mark.
Quitos, let's start with you. Was Donkey Kong Country a classic, nostalgic, or tragic for you?
Okay, so this one took some effort to think of, what I was going to rate it, because originally I thought it was going to be tragic. So and now you know my answer is one of the two, classic or nostalgic. And so, yeah, I thought it was going to be tragic, but in the end, it was. I'll admit, it was fun to play. I did like playing through it, and so I thought it was going to be tragic because I had played, better Donkey Kong since then. I mean, I still think the N64 version is probably the best version of Donkey Kong.
Oh, okay.
But I remember this one was cool for its time, but I didn't think it would last through time. But I'm glad to say I was wrong, and I'd like to rate this a nostalgic.
Nostalgic. Okay, so if you've played this as a kid, you should play it again. But if you've never played it before, probably not worth your time. Go play like maybe the N64 version or something.
Exactly.
Looking for a retro game. Very cool. All right, Paul, how about what's a you?
I think it's tragic that you don't consider this a classic. Because that's what I think it is. Of course, if you probably
Classic.
couldn't tell, then I don't know. You weren't listening.
All right, we'll leave it at that then, Paul. This is a classic.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
For me, I'm gonna have to side with my brother. I felt like it was just nostalgic. It was fun playing through. I wouldn't really want to play it again though.
More for me.
More for you, yeah. Though it
There's
certainly
a limited supply out there.
it certainly had enjoyable elements to it. So there's that, and yeah, especially if you're trying to like study level design, I think this is a great like 101 course in level design, if anything.
Yeah.
How to create great levels with limited resources.
Exactly. But I think the graphics aren't all that great nowadays. I almost feel like since they're trying to be 3D, they hold up even less than games that weren't trying to be 3D. Because if they're like Mega Man X or Super Mario World, it's obviously not 3D. It's that style. It's almost like,
it's 3D.
Yeah, it's a huge leap forward. Then it was a huge leap forward back then, but now looking back, it just kind of looks dated. So,
Well, yeah, it's 16-bit. Of course, it's going to look dated. Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I
on that
mean-
little
trying to
screen.
show. Yeah,
I
I'm
mean-
trying to show this is like all the Donkey Kong characters are still on the ship right now. So, did you remember that, Quitos?
Yeah, no, the characters. The only characters on the ship was Donkey Kong and Diddy if he was alive.
Okay. Now this is Candy saying you did a great job, guys, and Funky
Yeah,
saying,
that
"Yeah,
wasn't-
wicked man."
Yeah, that wasn't there.
Yeah, it's part of the
Oh,
bonus.
okay. So here, you probably can't see this, but K.
No,
Rool
it's all
just came back.
pixelated.
All right.
Yeah, no, the ship after you defeat K. Rool and the credits roll. I mean, there's not a lot on the ship. Certainly not that scene.
Yeah, he says, "Right, I have had enough of this. It's time for me to get going. So you Kongs better get off my boat or else." And Donkey Kong says, "Or else what?" And K. Rool's like, "I'll destroy DDK Island. Wah ha ha ha." "You're bluffing, lizard face," is what Donkey Kong says. "I don't think he is sugar," says Candy. "Let's get off this manky ship." And then Cranky says, "I'm too old for this. See ya, I'm bailing out, dudes. We will meet again, K. Rool. I'm out of here." It's
Yeah,
like,
that would all have to be new if those characters weren't even there before.
And there's, again, you probably can't see, but the ship
It's a boat.
is right there, the boat, and the guys are swimming away. So it's like, anyway. So I'm sorry that that's only half the audience, but or less than that, most likely.
You're the first person I know who's got the
Okay.
Game Boy Advance version. So
Yeah. I thought we advertised that we were going to be reviewing the Super Nintendo version.
Is the best I could do.
Or best.
Quiet, Sean. With that, the Retro Rewind podcast rates Donkey Kong Country a disputed nostalgic game. If you have played it before, it's probably worth playing again. But if you've never played it as a kid, probably go play Donkey Kong Country 64 or maybe one of the Wii versions, something like that, or Super Smash Brothers, whatever, to get your Donkey Kong fix. All right, let's
or
move
the
on.
original Donkey Kong.
Or the original Donkey Kong,
Yeah, on the
where you play
arcade.
as Mario, actually. But
Yeah.
it's neither here nor there. Alice, why don't you engage YouTube for us?
YouTube systems engaged.
Alrighty, guys. Let's start with Paul. What is new on your tube?
Recently, I took my wife out and we saw How to Train Your Dragon 2 in 3D in theaters.
The Search for More Money.
The search for more dragons. Or anyway, have either of you seen that?
No, I've seen the
No.
first one though.
Yeah, we really liked the first one. We love it. We have it. We enjoy it. This one took. There are a couple darker turns in this one, and there's one particular plot point I thought was even a bit much for the world that they set up.
Oh, okay.
But it was fun seeing it in 3D, but I probably wouldn't own the second one.
Okay. Good to know. Quitos, what is new on your tube?
I actually started playing a game recently called Mass Effect. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it.
Yes,
No,
I've always
never.
wanted to play. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
Sarcasm detected.
And
Really?
yeah, so I ended up playing Mass Effect, and I'll be honest, I fell in love with that game. It is. I've heard people describe it as the Star Trek of basically my generation, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, interesting.
And I totally agree. I think
Wait,
everyone
did
should
J.J.
play it.
Abrams direct it with lens flares everywhere? Because
Not that
that's
Star
apparently
Trek.
the Star Trek of the new generation. No?
No.
Wait, I thought the next
Oh.
generation didn't have lens flares.
No, the new generation, not the next generation.
Oh, those play on words. But I end up actually getting the second and third one and playing through them as well. And
So you
Cool.
played through all of them already?
all of them, yeah.
Wow.
Like I literally stopped playing all other games and just played those. That's
Except
how
for Donkey
like
Kong.
except for Donkey. Well, I beat it before Donkey Kong, but
Oh, okay.
and I mean, I'm just amazed at the storytelling because most games where they give you, I don't know if you know a lot about Mass Effect, but they give you a lot of choices, and the story changes based on your choices.
Yeah.
But most games like that, the choices really are not very good, or the writing is terrible.
Fable.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Fable?
Yeah, that's a game for the
Yeah.
original
Oh.
Xbox.
But this one, it was amazing because it really felt like the choices I were making my story evolve, and the writing kept up with it all the way.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's like the game really focused on the character. So it's like I was, watching a dramatic TV series, like like Firefly. It felt similar to that. This science fiction dramatic, but also like lighthearted at times. So it was awesome.
Awesome.
I recommend it to everyone.
Would you recommend it more or less than Battlestar Galactica?
I've never seen Battlestar Galactica.
That is a travesty. Quitos, drop
Would
everything.
you say that's
and
tragic?
yes, I would say that's tragic. If Quitos, you say Mass Effect's the Star Trek for your generation.
Yeah.
I would counter Battlestar Galactica. The sci-fi 2004 series is more the Star
Okay.
Trek for
I'll have to check it out.
Go watch it. Make sure you watch the little mini series first. Otherwise, if you start with the TV series, it's like, what's going on? Who are all these people? So start with the mini series first, and then go with the 4 seasons. Anyway,
Okay.
not the 4 seasons, the hotel, the 4 seasons of the show.
Gotcha.
Cool. But
Maybe I'll just watch it at the 4 seasons.
go. So we have Mass Effect from Quitos. We have How to Train Your Dragon 2, maybe not, from Paul. Excuse me. And I'll go ahead and just say what's new on my tube. Why not?
Oh, sorry, my mic was off. Sorry about that, Francisco. Here's our one chance live in front of the world to make up for lost time. And what do? Nothing. I can't even ask you like what you've been up to lately or what's new with you or anything like that. So, but anyway. So, Francisco,
Yes, Paul.
what is new on your tube?
So glad you asked.
You're quite welcome.
I am playing a game as well that I got for Father's Day. Christy, my wife, got it for me. And
She's your father?
and I am like, I posted to Twitter that I've been bouncing. I was bouncing, bouncing back and forth between Donkey Kong Country and this game called FTL, which stands for Faster Than Light. It's a roguelike game. If you don't know what that is, that's essentially if you die, then you're dead. You have to start all over. There's no save point. You can save while you're playing one game. You can save any time. But if you die,
that's
you
it.
don't get a save. That save doesn't come back or anything. You have to start all over again.
They call it a rogue type game?
A roguelike type game, yeah.
Oh, is that where like you touch other people with your skin and absorb their powers?
Yes, and then they're dead. They don't come back.
Okay, and I knew it had to do with it somehow.
Well, Wolverine came back, so I guess he's...
Oh, yeah, good point.
Well, it didn't touch very long.
Anyway, it's a really awesome game. And we're sort of talking on the thread of Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica and Firefly. You're in control of this ship, and you're a Federation ship trying to get from one galaxy through several galaxies. You just jump from galaxy to galaxy,
Must be nice.
trying to get to the endpoint to deliver your message to the Federation on the other side of the universe.
So you're a delivery ship.
Essentially, but you have weapons, and you can upgrade as you defeat the rebels and defeat space pirates. And you can upgrade your ship, and you have a crew, and you have to micromanage where your crew goes. Like if you have a fire in your engine room, you have to, while you're in a battle with a ship, you have to get a guy over there so that he put out the fire. Otherwise, your ship's going to go down. You have to keep your oxygens level up. You have to keep your shields powered. And if like your shield, you have no weapons, but you have full shields, you can deduct shield power to get weapons back. It's really, I just love the sort of strategy element of it. And that may seem really overwhelming, and it kind of is, but you can pause whenever you want. You can pause anytime, set up your queue of what you want to have happen, unpause, and play through. So it is manageable in that aspect.
Cool.
Does a
I'd
big
like
ship-
to...
I was about to ask, does a big ship swallow your ship, and you think it's space pirates, but it turns out it's your ginormous parents who kick your friends out?
I think that's episode 17, if you want to go back and listen to that, our Explorers episode. But, wow.
Oh.
No.
I guess the answer is no.
It's not like that at all. Wow.
Sounds cool.
But yeah, definitely you can find it on, I think they have it on Steam, also on Good Old Games or GOG.
And this is the rogue game?
GOG?
Yes, this is the rogue game called FTL.
What does
Oh,
FTL
GOG.
stand for?
For the
Faster
win.
Than Light.
Oh.
Or for the
For the
lose.
loss.
Yeah. But no, definitely go pick that up. Anyway, we have gone way too long on YouTubes. Let's see if there's any feedback or announcements.
Comsat online. Receiving incoming transmission.
Have we got any new, questions in our Q&A, Paul?
Nope.
Nope. And I don't think we had any feedback, except I do want to thank Sharon Collins, former guest host, or previous guest host, I should say. Former makes it sound like she's like no longer with us or something.
She's
Well,
retired
she's
from
no
the
longer-
podcast.
She's no longer Sharon Collins.
Oh yeah, Sharon, change your Google thing. Come on, Sharon Powers. Thank you, Paul. She promoted this live show to her brother Clint. So thank you so much for doing that, Sharon. Appreciate that. I don't know if Clint is watching, as we only have one viewer. But if you are, Clint, awesome. Thank you for joining us on the
And
Retro
if you're
Rewind
not,
podcast. Whoever you are, thank you for joining us.
I'm
I
pretty sure
appreciate
that
you.
viewer count is wrong because we're from two different sources, YouTube and Hangouts.
Oh, that's a good point. If people are watching on YouTube, it might be different. Good point, Quitos. Anyway, But we don't have any other feedback unless, Paul, you had some Facebook ones.
Not that I recall.
Okay. Then let's go on with show announcements, which there aren't really any.
I have feedback.
Quitos.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, Quitos. What is your feedback? Funny
What?
you were on today to give us your feedback.
Yeah, we need more sci-fi games.
More sci-fi games?
If we do a game, we gotta do sci-fi.
Well, I
Okay,
believe we have Star
Donkey
Fox
Kong
somewhere
Country
here.
takes place when the planet's taken over
Yeah,
by
Oh.
by the apes and the
Yes.
So
Planet of the Apes is a
Planet of the
sci-fi
Apes is
movie.
definitely yeah. So this is a sci-fi game.
All right, you got me there.
All right,
Check.
Soon, Mark Wahlberg will be part of the cast for Donkey Kong.
and this podcast.
Yes. Wow. Well, thank you, Quitos, for that feedback. I believe we have Star Fox 64 sometime in the near future.
Ooh.
Ew.
But
Oh no, sorry.
but awesome. Let's go ahead and I want to say thank you, Quitos, for being on the show once again.
Yeah,
And coming
thanks for
back.
having me.
Absolutely.
It's always a
can-
blast.
It's always a blast for us too.
It'd be
Except
more of a blast if it was
if they're
sci-fi.
Sci-fi games, yeah, exactly. Blast doors, blast lasers, be a blast.
Blast
Quitos, where
shields.
can people find you, and do you have anything to promote?
So people can find me. They can get in touch with me on my Twitter, which is Cool Deluxe or at Cool Deluxe, and it's QOOLDELUXX.
Awesome.
You can see future tweets when I'm about to do a show here with you guys or anything else that's going on. So, yeah, just check that out.
Very good. Oh,
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all.
all right. Paul, where can people find you, and do you have anything to promote this time?
Yeah, people can always find me at pauljpowers.com because I have nothing else better to do but to hang out there. So you can reach me there 24/7, 365 days a year. Anyway.
What about
and,
leap years?
All the time. At least that's what my web carrier says. Anyway. Well, do I have anything to promote?
Yes, that's the question.
Just the next episode.
Well, why don't you give us a rundown for what the next... Oh, let me go ahead and say, if you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at FXRUIZX. Paul, give us a rundown of what's happening next time. Is the reflux capacitor fixed?
Yes. So we have it plugged into our retro rewind, or what was it? Our retro reactor. Isn't
Yes.
that what it is? I don't
think
know.
so,
It's
yes.
working. So next time we will be rewinding back to the year 1979 for the original Muppet movie.
Ooh.
Nice.
Frog.
Until then, sorry, Quitos, it's not a sci-fi game. But until then, we would love if you would share the show with your friends. And if you have or want to support us even more, go to retrorewindpodcast.com/support to find out how. If you want to friend, follow, pin, or plus us, go to retrorewindpodcast.com/social. But if all you want to do is just send us some good old-fashioned love, then you can write us feedback or ask us questions by heading on over to retrorewindpodcast.com/contact.
Thank you so much, Paul.
You are so welcome, Francisco.
And I want to thank most of all you for listening and for
Oh,
viewing.
thank you.
Not you, Paul. The listener and our repeaters.
I'm listening.
Everyone who listens to the podcast, which includes Paul and
Woohoo!
you. So thank us and Quitos, I
Yeah.
presume.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading and subscribing. Whether you're working out, on your commute, or doing chores, we really appreciate you supporting us just by listening or any other way you support us. So, until next time, like a Pokemon, we'll catch you later on the next episode of the Retro Rewind Podcast.
Retro Rewind mission complete.
It's
Proceed
over.
to nav point Omega. And
Wherever that
return
is.
to base.
Anyway, so who is Diddy Kong?
I don't
Is
know.
he his brother? Is he
I'm pretty sure it's his cousin.
his cousin?
I'm pretty sure.
Is it his son?
No, it's not his son.
Banana.
What?
It's from
The
some
heck?
Mario Kart ad. Banana.
Okay.
Do you have a better ending?
Yeah, you should put in the sound effect here where from Super Mario Kart where Donkey Kong goes "Rear, rear."
Wow. I don't know if that would be that distinguishable.
Well,
Do
I
you
don't
have
know
it?
either.
Do you have any ideas, Quitos?
You could do. Yeah, you could end it with the song in the beginning of the game. Yeah, just like the first few notes or something.
Oh, well, I might do that. How about we do this? Let's sing out. Let's sing it all together. Yes, we all know it. We can do this. Okay, so
Oh,
I'll end
no.
it that way.
No.
Oh
Come on,
no!
please. This will be great. Ready?
Says you.
1, 2, 3. Do 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 do
Do
do do do do do do do do
lag. Do 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 lag.
do 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 Good night, everybody.
We could do better than that. Let's throw a barrel at this one and call it done.
That's fine. It was a blast. Bye.
Don't slip on a banana peel on your way out.
There you go.
Okay, I'm stopping the broadcast. To you who is watching, thank you so much for joining us. And we will be doing another live show on episode 50. So hope you come back for that. Bye.
Bye.